So last time we talked a little thing about Del Mar Skate Ranch. So we'll continue the theme this week. We talked about the Kona Bowl, the Kidney Bowl, whatever, with the orange tile. So I found some pictures. So I'm going to share some pictures with you. We talked about the keyhole. So here's a shot from the entrance of the keyhole. I will hold it up close so you can see. So this is in the entryway, and that's the face wall, and the main wall where everybody did tricks is like kind of over here. I know it's backwards right now, but it's right there on that side, which is like sort of the main wall. Although the McTwist wall is over here on that side. So yeah, debuted in the contest by Mr. Mike Lego. So yes, so there's the keyhole, and then of course up above on this side was the kidney that we talked about was up here. All right, but everybody's seen the keyhole, so you don't really need to see the keyhole too much. Okay, so let's go to the next thing, which there was a picture of Chris Stropel skating the Egg Bowl, and this is going to be kind of hard to make out because it's kind of washed out with the exposure. But here's the Egg Bowl. I know it's a little hard to tell what's going on. So if you look really carefully, this is like sort of the entrance is like right here, right in that dip right there, and it kind of goes up, and then there's the shallow end is out of the focus and out of the picture, and then in the deep end right there. And yeah, so that's why I was trying to explain the Egg Bowl didn't really have anything that I could bring home, because there's not really anything that you can say was from the Egg Bowl, because it's just a big concrete thing. Big, rough concrete thing. I think it was about 12 feet deep. It was very scary. That's all I know. I could barely skate this thing, but I remember watching John Gibson show up for a contest, and he went and warmed up in there, and he was skating side to side in that thing like it was nothing. He was skating it like it was perfect, and it was far from perfect. I will never forget that. John Tex Gibson, the legend that he is. All right, so the photo that I was looking for was actually this one. The Del Mar Halfpipe, and literally just a half of a pipe. So we're looking down, we're looking east down the Halfpipe, and the end over here kind of bended around here, and there's like not really a shallow end, so to speak. I guess kind of the shallow end. There's a bigger entryway from this side that you can't see. But what was cool about that far end was that it kind of worked its way from a really mellow bank, and then all the way around that corner in the back, and eventually worked its way onto the vertical over here. So you could work your way up from things that were like that to almost vertical to right up to vertical, and you can kind of baby step along the way in that far end. Is that making any sense? Yeah, there, right there. So shallow, 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 and then you could work your way up to the vert. And that was where I learned how to do rock and rolls, because I could work my way from really mellow to the vert. And they were ugly, and they made a bunch of noise, but I did it, and I was all by myself, and yeah. Oh, and then so a couple weeks ago we talked about the square pool, and you can see just the entrance of the square pool over here, right there. Interesting note, all these photos right here, February 1983. So this is probably about midday in, September 83. September 83. And yeah, if you look really carefully, there's one guy in the very back of the park. And I don't know, I always called it the Escondido Bowl. See, way in the back, there's a guy skating this big thing. And that was, I don't know what they called it. Do you guys know what they called that thing? The bird bath or something like that? It has that really famous footage of Stacy Peralta in his orange outfit riding his orange board and doing really crazy Bertelmans. But anyway, that bull in the back was supposed to be a copy of that thing. And hardly anybody skated it because it was just kind of weird and mellow and big. But if you were the up-and-comer and weren't comfortable and everything else, you skated that big thing in the background, just like that kid is in the middle of the day, all by himself, has the whole park to himself. Skated that. So anyway, before I get too completely sidetracked, so here's the half pipe, right? And you can't really, you look at pictures and you can see that the lip is kind of rounded, but you can't really see what's going on there. So let's see what's going on there. Here's the lip of the half pipe. So that's how rounded it was. Very rounded. So you could just kind of roll over this, and you see a lot of pictures of people doing one-wheelers because you could just ride right up. This is probably the only thing I ever did an edger in, because you can ride up and you just roll right back in, and it doesn't even matter. So this is the vert, and then it worked its way up onto the deck here. But yeah, so the whole thing was pretty much like that, and also if you look really carefully, it's kind of like it's kind of a sharp edge there. But there were a couple of spots that this thing is heavy, that were more just rounded and kind of even than this. But I'm gonna put this down for a second because it's really heavy. Sorry. At least heavy for me. Yeah. So let's kind of take a look, and you can see on this wall over here. There's a line that is kind of just going along underneath everything there. That's not shadow in there. That's really how the vert met the transition in most places. In most of it, it definitely was like going up and then got a nice kink and then straight up from there. So this thing was really hard to ride, but there were a couple of good walls. The one wait, I have to hold it here. There, on that side, and that is the wall that Tony Hawk ollied over the fence in the video, and in Animal Chin, and in the photos. It's way down there. And then he landed in the bank slalom, which is over here. There's the bank slalom. And the bank slalom was the last thing that everybody skated when they dug up what was left of the park, and they said, oh, we skated Del Mar again. It was kind of just the very bottom of that thing over there. You can't really see what's going on. But anyway, so that's where Tony jumped over the fence and landed in the bank slalom. And I wish I had more pictures of the rest of the park. I'm sure I did at some point, but I don't know what happened to them. Luckily, I found this. Yes, so that wall was really good. And then the one wall that you can't see that's just out of picture right here was really good. Just really smooth transition all the way up, not too big of a rounded lip, but still, when you skate something that doesn't have coping, doesn't have a defined edge, it feels a little scary because you cannot really tell if you pulled off the wall enough and if you're going to hang up or not, and you have no tiles to kind of let you know, kind of that you're at the top. So it's a little weird, and I'm sure that's why you don't see a lot of this stuff anymore. But anyway, it was fun. People kind of just skated one end under the other. They didn't really kind of skate the whole thing. And unfortunately, most days, it kind of just looked like that. Nobody in there, except for guys skating that shallow end thing. Yeah, it kind of just stayed like that. But there it is, the Del Mar half pipe. And I'll hold this up once again so I can have my thumbnail. You got to plan ahead for the video, for the YouTube's video.